huge question. Man of many parts, many nationalities, many interests, and playwriting was obviously one of his main drives, but he had lots of loves and things he did. But he can tell them this wonderful story, and that's a great gift, I think. He went to drama school, and it was a way of discovering roles he could play and creating characters. When he was with UNICEF, he was an ambassador for UNICEF, and he couldn't speak Chinese, and he went to see the kids. That's a famous story. He went to see them and didn't know what shall I do to communicate with them, and he started barking like a dog, and he did wonderful dog noises, and the kids just could almost see the dog there, and they immediately were drawn to him, and he was able to communicate in that case through dog noises. So yes, he could communicate in any language virtually.
Well, the earliest memory of his work was we did Romeo and Juliet when I was in Rep at Salisbury. But my first memory of Peter as a man was through my wife, Prunella Scales, who was in the premiere of The Unknown Soldier and His Wife, and also in a rather dotty film that Peter was in called Stiff Upper Lips. They went to India. So I got to know him during that time.
The play is set in a fictional country invaded by its neighbour. The play begins at the end of the war. A Prime Minister and a Foreign Minister are waiting for the tanks to arrive. But the Prime Minister has a plan. He intends to bring out of retirement a military icon from the country's past to take over a benign dictatorship. It's very much the product of an ends justifies the means mind, very Machiavellian type character. When it was written, I think audiences didn't really want to be reminded about the war. I think they wanted to look at the kitchen sink. I think some wanted to explore some existential ideas with Beckett or Sartre. I don't think many wanted to think about what happened.
I think he has a recurring theme, which is bellicose politics in confrontation with humanitarian pragmatism, which I like very much. It's slightly Shavian, isn't it? But it has a kind of irony and humour that perhaps Shaw didn't always have. But I love plays that have a lot of talk.
The key to what The Moment of Truth is about is in its originally intended title, which was King Lear's photographer.
He cared about the world and what was going on in the world, and this was reflected in his plays.
The Arab Spring was initially my instinct, but when you start dealing with a play like The Moment of Truth, you see parallels in everything. The play remains pertinent. I think it has done from when it was first written.
I'm very pleased to see that the New Actors Company is reviving this play. I love the work that they do. I like the setup. I think they're the sort of company that will take this play seriously.